Hey, what's up everybody? Today I wanted to show you the new limited edition Voltrx electronic shaker cup. Now, if you watch some of my other videos, there's a video that I made not too long ago that talks about I bought a Voltrx electronic shaker cup. So this is just a shaker cup that you're going to charge a base like this. And once your base is charged, you connect it, you pour your liquid, you pour your powder in here, and you charge it up, or you shake it. And my video at the time was, why can't you just use a regular shaker cup? You put your stuff in, and you pop, 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 and you just shake it like a person, right? And so I thought it was a little bit gimmicky at the time, and as it turned out, the electronic shaker cup by Voltrx was the cup that I used most by choice over the next several months. In fact, you can see my Voltrx is the label's starting to wear off. It's not nearly as pristine as it was several months ago. It still works fantastic. So this is still my go-to shaker cup for a couple of reasons. One is, when you use a regular shaker cup, it has a tendency to not mix stuff the way that you would want it mixed. In other words, maybe not thoroughly, the powder doesn't dissolve all the way, which is miserable when you are drinking a drink and you get down to the bottom of a drink and it didn't dissolve all the way, and you're dealing now with like chunkies and powder, and so you're drinking and then something goes into your mouth and it's like, is that a bug? Hopefully that was powder. I don't know what it was. Well, what surprised me was how well this shaker cup actually dissolves everything in the cup. So all the powder that goes in, when I would drink these, it was by far the most thoroughly stirred and dissolved drinks that I had had in a long, long time. So I became a fan very quickly of the electronic shaker cup. No longer thought it was a gimmick. And like I said, it's been my go-to since then. So what I am actually going to do today is I'm going to show you that the good folks over at Voltrx hit me up. They saw my video and just said, hey, man, we got this new limited edition cup that came out. Do you want to check it out? And of course, because I am a Voltrx man, I said, yes, please. So here's the old one, and here is the new one. This is the new Voltrx cup that they just sent me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this today. We're going to do just a quick demonstration of how these actually work. And by the way, they were also kind enough to hit me up with a great discount code. So if you use the code Shizness, which is the name of my channel, I'll put this information down in the description below. Use Shizness to get you 10% off of these awesome new cups, or you can even use it on one of the older cups, which is pretty cool because it actually ends up being slightly cheaper than the Amazon cups. So you can go to the website, I'll put it down below, type in the code Shizness, and get 10% off of your cup, including free shipping. So pretty awesome. So thank you guys for hooking everybody up with that great discount code. So the new cup came in, and one of the first things I thought was interesting, they all tend to kind of come in this similar type cylindrical fashion, which I kind of appreciate the extra attention and detail into just packaging. I'm a packaging weirdo, or whatever you want to call it. I just enjoy whenever they put some attention into something like this. So it kind of comes with this neat little thing. So if you can see it on the screen, it actually says on the back here, there's a little sticker that says, play with Voltrx Action Package. And I was like, well, what is that? And then so it says lift it and you drop it. And so it ends up looking something like this. And I'm not going to lie, I probably did this about 10 times because it reminded me of do you remember those old, I think it was the Atari game, Pole Position? It was a racing game. It looks a lot like this. So the cup itself, you can see here, it just comes like this. And one of the things that I immediately noticed was the top is red, the lid is blue. On the first edition Voltrx cups, they weren't multicolored like this. They were different colors, so you can get a green one or a blue one or a white one, but they weren't multicolors. So I think that what we're probably going to be looking at here is the cup is going to be primarily a similar type of cup as the first editions were, but we're probably just going to get a slightly spiffier looking well, actually, I take that back. It is a different model looking altogether here. So let's do a few things. Let's go ahead and open this up. So one of the things about the Voltrx that I like is I feel like these cups are put together slightly better than some of the other electronic cups that I've used. So things like the lid, it's got a nice snap to it. I like when the lid completely seals. And one of the other things I've noticed about these Voltrx cups as well is when you put them on the top here like this, and you actually tighten it, it actually feels like it tightens very well. I've got a couple of other cups by other brands that they don't feel like that they connect tightly here to the base, so I do like that. Now this is kind of interesting, so I'm going to show you here on this screen if you can see that, and I'll show you up here. So the inside of this, they're almost all these cups are set up in the same way, where there's an object here at the bottom. And then what will happen is a base will attach to the bottom. So you open up this base here. So here's the base. As you can see here, again, multicolor, which I get a kick out of. So you connect it here, spin it, and now it's interlocked. And so you'd hit the button, and this probably doesn't have any charge. Oh, it does have a little bit of a charge in it. Right? So you can see the cool multicolor thing, which is really kind of neat. And this thing is spinning. Let's see if you can see that there. And you can see it here, right? So let's go ahead and turn that off. You know, regular shaker cups a lot of times are just made of a real thin sort of plastic material. These are a much thicker plastic material, right? So like just really well made. They've got, of course, the measurements here on the side, which is nice if you want to know how much to put in your cup. It's got the plug-in here for where you're going to charge it, and then the power button here on the back side. So I'm going to go ahead and charge this bad boy up, and then we'll come back whenever it's fully charged, and that way we can see what it does, how well it does, and mixing some stuff. I'm going to actually do some of my favorite protein powder, the ISO Pure Whey Protein Isolate. But right off the bat, again, it's a good-looking cup. I appreciate the multicolors. It makes me excited to have another one of these cups, and I'm looking forward to giving it a test. So let's charge it, and we'll be back now. Okay, we are charged up, and so I want to go ahead and show you a demonstration on how this actually works. Of course, we've got a button right here, and this is the only button on the unit. And so one of the big things about the Voltrx, which I think makes this one of the better cups, if not the best cup out there, is that this button is not just a hit it, like you have to hit it to start it and hit it to stop it. It actually has a timer on it. So it's got a couple of different functions. One is if you click the button once, it does a 30-second spin, which is freaking great, because what I like to do is I like to start it and walk away and know that it's not just going to keep running and running and running and running. So a lot of the other cups you're going to find out there don't have the self-timer on it, right? They've got this thing where you hit it and it's just going to keep going until you manually stop it. So for me, because I like to start it and then walk away for a few minutes and do whatever it is I'm doing and then come back to it, I don't have to stand there and kind of wait for it, which, you know, maybe for some of you not a big deal, but for me that's always doing something, not standing there and watching it for 30 seconds is a big deal. It's also got a second function where if you double click it, it will continuously run. I haven't come up with a reason why I've wanted it to do that. You know, I'm using a pretty thick protein powder here, and this does a great job with the 30 seconds. But if for some reason you felt like you needed more time, you could always double click it and let it run continuously and then manually stop it. Clicking it again while it's running will stop it. So I'm just going to do a quick demonstration on how this works, and this is going to be actually really good on this phone. I filled this up to where it says max, and I'm going to go ahead and click the button so you can just get an idea of what this looks like. What this looks like whenever you actually click it. One of the things I noticed about this very quickly was it lights up a lot more than the other version that I've got did. This is a much darker glass. These lighter glasses, it looks way cooler than the darker colored one. So I really like that, and I like that it's sort of a multicolor thing. As you can see, it pushed up the liquid here a little bit, and in the middle, I'm gonna move this, right? So you can see it doing its thing here. I'm gonna do this one more time so you can see what that looks like in the middle. See, it basically makes it see, this is what it looks like. See, I filled it up to the max, and you can see it's really right up to about the brim. So I'm gonna stop it there. See how much difference that made? All right, let me try to set this back up here. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and put a protein powder in here to show you how well this works. So I'm gonna just take one scoop, drop it in just like that on the top. Now this is interesting. This is a pink colored powder. And let's see what this does. Again, putting the lid on first and popping the lid. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the button again. Gonna let it run through its whole cycle, the 30 seconds. You could tell there's a much different volume too. Whenever you've got the lid on, with the lid off, it's a little bit more loud, not super loud by any means. The motor is not really loud at all. In fact, all of the noise is here, is the liquid actually spinning. And it's doing exactly what I would expect it to do. It looks good. And you can kind of see at the bottom while it's spinning that it's pulsating with its light. And so, just to kind of show you, one of the other things I wanted to kind of take a look at this as well is if you look at the inside of this, there's a little bit of foam, right? Even at the top level, and that's just aeration from the thing spinning a bunch. I've used other cups that had a lot more foam in it. And so what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to drink this somewhat quickly and show you what it looks like at the bottom so you can see what kind of powder there is at the bottom, what kind of quote-unquote chunkies there are at the bottom. So I already know how this is going to go because I've used Voltrx for a while, but for the sake of the video, let's down this as fast as possible. Safely fast. Now let's take a look here at the bottom. I'm going to show you how well this dissolved. So if we're looking inside the cup, you can see here that there's just that little bit of liquid that's left down there, but no weird chunkies, no powder is left. In fact, if I try to drink this very quickly, there's nothing there. So it does what I wanted it to do, which is it blends my powder completely, so I don't have to worry about getting something weird flying in my mouth. Or, you know, for me, one of the things is it just grosses me out to get to the end of a drink. And even if I know it's powder, sometimes I'll throw the rest of it down the drain. I just don't like that feeling of solids coming in whenever I'm trying to drink a liquid. So, once again, the Voltrx team has knocked it out of the park with these limited edition colored ones. Again, there's only 2 or 3 limited edition new cups out there with these multicolors and with the new spinner on the inside. So 10% off, Fizness Shizness. Information is down below, both the coupon code and the link to the website so that you can go and get your own, including free shipping. So a huge deal. Thanks so much to the Voltrx team for letting me do this video and hooking me up with this new cup. It does everything that I want it to do, which is basically gives me the 30-second timer, which is a huge deal for me. It mixes it down to like nothing. There's no powders, no anything in there. And it's just a well-made cup, and frankly, it's just cool. I like stuff that lights up. Never use a regular shaker cup again. You don't have to. You can use the Voltrx and make your life a lot more simple and make your drinks a lot more enjoyable. So if this video was helpful, please hit like on it, maybe even the subscribe button. I do these types of videos and other health and fitness videos several times per week. That would very much be appreciated. Thanks y'all so much for watching, and go get yourself a Voltrx. So thanks y'all, appreciate it. Peace out.